Hey everybody, it's Kaylee. I'm back with another what sold from last week video. If you guys are new here, every single week I come on and I share what is selling right now currently on eBay and Poshmark. These videos can be helpful if you want a lead into some of the brands, styles, or factors that might be selling well on both of those platforms. It's also just a way for me to track what I am doing in my business and how well it is working. Are the strategies that I'm using making my sales go up, or are they plummeting? So far, strategies have been good. I've been keeping pretty steady over the last week. So you're gonna see a pretty average week right now. Let's dive into it and see what is currently selling. All right, you guys, so all these sales happened between April 7th through the 13th, which was last week. Pretty decent sales week. In total, I sold 213 items for gross item sales total of $7,190.13. My average sale price was a little bit higher than the previous week at $33.76. So very happy with that. And I am still trying to get between $35 and $40 average item sale price. That's my goal. I'm hoping we can reach it soon. In total for eBay, I sold 127 items. And then my gross sales on there were $5,600. That's including shipping. And then on Poshmark, I sold just 86 items, a little bit slower on Poshmark at $2,200 in gross sales, but my average sale price was really good for both platforms considering the platforms they were on. On eBay, my average sale price was $39.26. So definitely eBay is continuing to be within that range that I'm trying to get to. It's just, Poshmark, which is basically my clear out site, that is bringing that average sale price down. But even on Poshmark, my average sale price was around $26. So I'm pretty happy with that. If I can get this closer to 30 and this to remain around 40, I think I'm very quickly going to reach that average sale price range in total for $35 to $40. So looking forward to doing that. Let's go ahead and dive into the sales. I'm going to start with this one because it's a really interesting sale and a great category for you guys to look for. And that is not just celebrity pieces, but also YouTube merch. And I guess I would consider some YouTubers to be celebrities also. But YouTubers also make their own merch sometimes, and some of those pieces can be very valuable. I have no idea what in the world this channel is all about, but I just know that when we looked it up, we found out that it was YouTube merch and it had a very high sell-through rate. So if you guys come across anything unique or interesting, or maybe you happen to recognize that YouTuber, I would say definitely look it up. I've sold a few Teddy Fresh hoodies in the past. Again, not all of them are valuable, but some of them can be, and it's definitely a category that we look for. So this is called the Good Mythical Morning YouTube merch. It was a cloak. Gives me kind of Harry Potter vibes. Again, I have no idea what this channel is, so don't come for me. But we listed it for $130, which is what the market was telling us. It ended up selling on an offer to watcher for $110. So I thought that was a fantastic sale for YouTube merch. All right, next up, completely different category. This is a category that is performing very well in spring and summer. It is Hawaiian pieces or tiki pieces. A lot of the vintage Hawaiian dresses have outstanding sell-through rates and sell for a lot of money. This is a newer brand to me called Princess Kulani, I think is how you pronounce it, Hawaii. Anytime I see something super Hawaiian and long length dress and it looks vintage, I always look it up, and almost every time it's a $100 item. So this was definitely the case with this. This is a beautiful maxi dress with some ruffled details. It was also a larger size in a size 20. I wasn't really sure where to price this one at because some of them were going for a ton. Some of them were going for a little bit less than that. I thought I had a more valuable one. So this is a very rare case where I will add best offer to the listing. So we listed this for $125 or best offer, and it ended up selling on an offer to watcher actually. So not even one that the buyer sent to me, just my normal blanket offer of 15% off for $106. So fantastic sale with this, and every year in this category I seem to have some pretty good luck. So keep your eye out for that. right, next up, this is a designer brand that performs very well. It is Saison. This tag said, and I don't know how to pronounce it, La Male Saison. Either way, Saison in all of its forms seems to be very, very good. This one was a black button front alpaca sweater, size extra, extra small too. So pretty small size, but I thought the alpaca, especially with it being 68% alpaca, was definitely going to pull it through. Anytime you have really great materials paired with really high-end brands, regardless of the sell-through rate for that brand, it typically ends up being a good sale, and this was definitely the case with this one. So this one just sold. I actually need to ship it out tomorrow, which will be a Monday, and I listed it for $100. It did sell for our full asking price, so very happy with that sale. Next up, this is a newer brand to me. It definitely falls under the like log and look artsy category. This is Sun Kim, and not all of their pieces perform well, but their jackets definitely have a really good sell-through rate and good average sale price. I've actually, since this one has sold, found like the exact same one at a thrift store, so fairly common to come across. Like I said, the jackets are where it's at. This one you can see is kind of like a log and look, almost like futuristic looking artsy jacket. This one was the boyfriend jacket in a size medium, also made in USA. That's another good sign that it might be high quality. I listed this for $105, and it did sell for full asking price, and it took, let's see, it took about a month to sell. So not a long turnaround at all, especially with the high sale price. Next up, this is a great category to look for. Anytime I see any kind of really out there Western wear, especially if it's made out of leather, I am looking it up. This is the brand T4 West, which seems to be a pretty good Western wear brand. This is a fringe leather vest. You can see lots of details went into this, and it's in really great shape. I listed this for $90 and sent out offers to watchers. It ended up selling for $76 on eBay. This is a brand that is very trendy right now. If you can find it new with tags, definitely sells for quite a bit. If you find it pre-owned, depending on the piece, can sell for a lot. But it's just really great bread and butter for us, even if it's pre-owned. And I think I have an example over in the Poshmark sales that you'll see of a pre-owned item that's bread and butter that sells well in this brand. This is a more interesting piece. This is Skims cozy knit pants, and they were very, fuzzy, cozy. I always look up pants like this just because the knit pants and pretty much any brand hold a lot of value. This one we did get new with tags, so that was awesome. Listed this for $75. It did sell for our full asking price. I'm about to make a video because I've been getting so many questions about how in the world do I sell items for full asking price. It's just been a question I've been getting a lot recently, so I'm going to make a video about that soon. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to see when that video goes live. But this is an example of a full price sale. And yeah, Skims, pretty decent brand, very trendy, depending on what you have, can go for a lot. All right, next up, this is a brand I would get in pretty much anything, but they are well known for their dresses. This is Spell and the Gypsy. Excuse me. This one is a little bit of a shorter dress, which is why it sold for a little bit less. If you find the midi or maxi length, you're definitely looking at a lot more money. This one was called the Lily Mini A-line dress, size extra small. I listed this for $60. It did sell on an offer to watcher for about $51. All right, this is one of my favorite menswear brands to sell. I've actually come across a few pieces by this lately. I hardly ever find it, and for some reason lately I've been finding it a lot. Kind of a brand I think if you weren't paying attention you would look over because the logo is just so small. It is Roback, R-H-O back, and it has this little dog logo here. And like I said, they make a few different things. I have found hats. I think they make belts, definitely pants, but they're kind of like a golf wear, athletic wear, athleisure kind of brand. Very awesome brand. You could see most of their pieces are very simple like this one is, and then you just got to look out for that dog logo. But they do kind of feel, I guess, like Lululemon, a little bit higher quality. but their stuff sells for a ton, and the sell-through rate is insane on this brand. So keep your eye out for this brand. I just found a hat at the bins that everybody passed on, just because I recognized the logo. So I listed this for $70 pre-owned. It's a zip pullover, size extra large. It sold very quickly. Actually, it sold the same day we listed it, on an offer to watcher for $59. So great return on investment. I only paid $4.99. Like I said, I don't think thrift stores recognize this brand. I don't think they recognize a lot of the higher end golfwear brands. So definitely good to be on the lookout for. Maybe I should do a video on men's golfwear brands, because it's definitely a category where you can make some big money. All right, next is a category I definitely think you should look for. I've sold a ton of stuff in this category, and it is Y2K graphic print hoodies. So anytime I see a hoodie that looks like this, think Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad, if you will. If you think he would wear the hoodie, you should look it up, because it almost always ends up being good. And it doesn't even have to be it doesn't have to be like a pulp culture, a gaming piece or something like this is. This is a World of Warcraft hoodie. It doesn't even have to be something like that people recognize. Just big graphics, and the fact that it might be Y2K, I think is enough to pull the sale through. I've sold a ton of pieces like this. So this one is by the brand Designed by Jinx. This is like a gaming inspired hoodie. This is World of Warcraft, the Horde graphic hoodie. So it definitely helped to up the value. It even had a small hole, and we still were able to list it for $60, and it sold for our full asking price, and it took less than a month to sell, which is awesome. So definitely keep your eye out. I've had a lot of you asking about the menswear stuff I pick up. We're still selling a ton of men's. This is definitely a category I look for. All right, next up, this is a brand new brand to me. I don't know how long they've been around, but you guys should go look up the sell-through rate, because it is insane. Just look up Fanka leggings and check the sell-through rate. You will not be disappointed. Again, I don't know if they are new or just I've never heard about them, but amazing brand for leggings. Fanka, Fanka, just a pair of leggings. I think they're known for like their sculpting and lifting technology, but to me they look pretty much like any other legging. I'm sure that they are very high quality, but to just look at them, you might be passing on them at the thrift store. Plus the tag, if you didn't know it, doesn't look all that fancy either. I listed these for $60. They sold on an offer to watcher for $51, and they only took 2 days to sell. This is also a newer brand to me. This is Rudis, or maybe it's Rudis, I'm not really sure, but they are a new to me brand of sneakers, and I think they're for like training, maybe lifting or CrossFit or something like that. I'm not sure. These ones definitely had overall wear, and I almost left them behind at the thrift store because there was a big black mark here. You know, the tread had slight wear. Normal wear for sneakers. But I really wanted to try this brand out just because the sell-through rate was so high. So I decided to get it and just price it a little bit lower. I listed this for $50, and it did sell for full asking price, and it only took like a week and a half to sell, even with all of that wear. So I would definitely keep your eye out for it. They say Rudis or Rudis on the back. And they also have it on the size tag as well. All right, next up, this is a category that is still performing very well. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but HarleyDavidson t-shirts, graphic t-shirts, maybe like 5 years ago were all the rage. Not so much anymore. I can't flip very many HarleyDavidson t-shirts. I think they're still popular. It's just that the online pre-owned market is very oversaturated. So HarleyDavidson as a whole, it's not selling well on the pre-owned market for resellers. But this category, women's and men's jackets, is still selling well. So if you find jackets by HarleyDavidson, possibly even hoodies, they still can perform well. This one is a HarleyDavidson women's fleece zip jacket. It was only a size medium. Typically for women's, I like to stick to size large and up, but I thought this one was a decent enough piece. Just a little bit more substantial. When it comes to HarleyDavidson, I always make sure our cover photo is whatever or wherever the spell out is on the jacket. So you can see the back of the jacket is the graphic, and it's also what we chose for our cover photo because that's what's going to sell the item. We listed this for $45. It ended up selling on an offer to Watcher for $35, and it only took about a week to sell. Next up, this is an example of a winter item that is still selling well, even though it is warmer weather. It's 80 degrees right now in Ohio. This is a fantastic brand that I look for during all times of the year. It is Erin Crafts, made in Ireland sweaters, and not even just this brand, but any sweater made in Ireland that is wool or a type of wool, I would definitely look up. This is a 100% merino wool women's cable knit cardigan, and it was a size large, so that's definitely going to help increase the value. I listed this for $45 because it did have pulled yarn and string, and it did end up selling for our full asking price. Next up, this is a brand very similar to Wolford in my opinion, or maybe even Spinx, but definitely one you guys might be passing on. It is Commando. They make a lot of like intimates, tights. I think they might even have bras. This one we were lucky enough to get new with tags. You can see it retails for $72. We listed for $45. So again, just a pair of pull-on shapewear leggings. It did sell for full asking price. It took a couple of months to sell. Next up, along the Y2K trends, Ed Hardy's definitely a brand I would look for, or really anything with this kind of graphic print to it. Some of those brands are doing well. Think of like Jinko jeans and stuff like that. But Ed Hardy's definitely one to look for. This is a women's skull t-shirt with some embellishments on it. Again, for the cover photo, we chose the most embellishment to really sell the item. Women's size medium. I listed this for $45 pre-owned. It did sell for our full asking price, and it only took a couple of months to sell. Next up, this is a vintage piece. This is a men's vintage Boston Red Sox hoodie. Not much to say here. Here's the label. Might be one you want to memorize, but I think it's really just about the subject matter. This definitely had some all over discoloration, staining, stuff like that. But the sell-through rate was so good on vintage Boston Red Sox hoodies that I went ahead and took a risk on it. Plus it was just a really cool graphic. I did not see any other ones like this. So I listed this even with the flaws for $40. It did sell for our full asking price. All right, this is a brand I'm very picky with these days. It is Athleta. I try to find, let me show you here. I try to find this inner tag, which contains the style number, which is right here. And I also look for the dating. So this was made in spring 2022. So I know it was a newer style within the last couple of years. Plus this was a size 2X. So for all of those reasons and looking everything up, I realized that this was a good style to sell. This was called the Pranayama wrap cardigan. Very soft material, longer length cardigan. Lots of styles that look like this in Athleta are performing well, and they're selling for quite a bit pre-owned, so keep your eye out for them. I listed this one for $35, and it did sell for full asking price. Next up, we talked about this in the last What Sold video, but overalls, short alls, full length overalls, whatever, are performing very well. So that's a category, if you come across it, even if it's a brand you wouldn't normally get, like I don't pick up a ton of Woolrich anymore, but the fact that these are short alls definitely increase the value for me. So I picked these up. They're a pair of denim short alls, size extra large women's. Listed these for $35, and they did sell for full asking price. Next up, this is actually a bundle that sold. This is the brand Proof. This one actually, you can see it's almost completely worn off. Let me show you the other one. Kind of the same thing, but I recognize this logo here, this like little striping. Proof is a fantastic brand that is sold on the Huckberry website. If you don't know the huckberry.com, go on there. Lots of the brands are good. They sell a lot of great menswear brands. But these Proof t-shirts, the merino wool base layers, have an incredible sell-through rate. even in spring and summer. So even with the logo faded, both of these I listed at full price at $40 each. And they both sold to the same buyer in a bundle for a total of $68 for the two of them. So really great prices there. The buyer got a deal, and I made a quick sale, but keep your eye out for Proof by Huckberry. Here's another menswear brand that is performing very well. Showing you guys a lot of menswear stuff today, so that's great. Rhone, R-H-O-N-E, good athletic wear brand, very similar to like, I would say Lululemon or Built, along those lines. These are a pair of men's commuter pants. I listed these for $40. They did sell for full asking price, even with a small flaw. I might have been able to get $50 without the flaw, but definitely high sell-through rates in this brand, depending on what you have. Next up, this is more bread and butter. It is Torid, known for their plus size pieces. I've not been picking up everything in this brand, but if there's enough factors, I will definitely get it. Specifically, the more substantial pieces like the long length kimonos, or I've noticed skulls and tie-dye on this brand perform very well. This is a size 2X women's long length like cardigan kimono, and it was new with tags. So for all of those reasons, I got it. I listed it higher at $35. It sold on an offer to watcher for $30. All right, here's some more Eileen Fisher. I talk about this brand a lot. One of my favorite brands to sell. Specifically, the plus sizes have very high sell-through rates. But if you're able to factor stack in the sizes that aren't plus size, you might still be able to get some decent sales. Specifically during this time of the year, they're beachy knit sweaters, meaning they're not made out of wool, linens, cottons, tinsels, things like that. This one is organic linen and organic cotton blend. Can really increase the value for Eileen Fisher sweaters during this time of the year. So I usually also try to put the keyword beachy in if we can, because that does help to sell it. So this is an Eileen Fisher size extra large linen blend sweater. Listed this for $35. It sold on an offer to watcher for $30. This is a brand you might want to look for in shoes during this time of the year. It is OluKai. You can see their little logo here kind of looks like a fishing hook. And trying to see, here is the brand spell out also. These you can see had quite a bit of wear, but good quality leather. People really love this brand. They're a pair of men's flip-flops. These I listed at $30, and they did sell for full asking price, and they only took a couple of weeks to sell. All right, this one is a great brand to look for during this time of the year. It is JMLin. They're very similar to Lily Pulitzer. They make bright multicolor print dresses and things like that. Those are definitely the pieces I would look for. However, some of their kind of out of the box pieces like this still can perform well. This is a cashmere sweater, size large, new with tags. All great factor stacking pieces. I listed it for $40. It sold on an offer to watcher for $34. And I will say cashmere in general is still selling pretty well for me if it's in a decent enough brand. Next up, this is a brand that has definitely been surprising me lately. It is Kobi. I try to pick up the newer labels, which is what this is, with the white background. And this one is a factor stacking piece. It's a larger size. It's new with tags. All good things. But even the pre-owned stuff in Kobi, as long as it is like a bright multicolor floral top, even regardless of size, I can usually get $20-25, sometimes $30 for it pre-owned. So definitely been surprising me lately. I'm starting to risk it a lot more with this brand. I listed this one, which was new with tags, for $40, and it sold on an offer to watcher for $34. Here is Zara. I definitely have not been picking up as much Zara as I used to. I really try to stick to kind of out there in your face pieces, the more unique ones. This one was a cropped, fully embroidered top, and I thought that it was a good enough piece and kind of out there that it would sell well. You can see there's like seashell details, coral reef, and all that stuff. All over embroidery. I listed this one for just $25, more bread and butter for me. It did sell for full asking price. All right, next up, this is Allie Miles. This brand is kind of a login look, artsy, more mature brand. They make a lot of tunic tops. Specifically, their plus sizes sell incredibly well. Once you start getting into smaller sizes than that, the sell-through rate starts to drop. This one was a size extra large petite, so still a pretty decent size. I listed this for $35 and it sold on an offer to watcher for $30. This is a good category to look for during this time of the year. Outdoorsy brands in dresses, or even athletic wear brands in dresses. This one is Torid Co., which is a decent athletic wear brand. Sorry, outdoorsy brand. And this is a beautiful green wrap dress. Listed this for $30. It sold on an offer to watcher for $25. Here's another brand that has been surprising me, similar to Kobi. It doesn't have the best sell-through rate data on eBay, but on Poshmark it has pretty good comps. So this is a brand I expect to sell on Poshmark, but I still list it on eBay, and it's been performing very well for me. This one actually sold on eBay. This is a Draper James denim mini dress, and this brand was made by Reese Witherspoon, if you guys know that actress. So I listed this for $35. It sold for $30. And last one on eBay before diving into the Poshmark sales, this is the brand Spinx. Have some pretty good luck with Spinx. A lot of their pieces sell well. This is a one-piece swimsuit, which I guess I didn't realize they made swimsuits, so I wanted to share this with you guys. It was pre-owned. I listed it for $30. It did sell for full asking price. All right, moving on to the Poshmark sales, I sold this Skims item. I told you earlier when we sold those new tag Skims pants that I did have some pre-owned stuff that sells pretty well. This would be an example of a pre-owned Skims item that sells pretty good. This is a bodysuit. Not much to say about it. It sold for $21, so very bread and butter. This is a fantastic brand to look for in just about anything. It is Peruvian Connection. Now, they're well known for their wool pieces, which is where you're probably going to get the most money. But even in spring and summer, if you pick up their Pima cottons or maybe tinsel or, something other than wool, it can still do well. This brand retails for a ton, so definitely keep your eye out for it. This is a maxi skirt made of Pima cotton. It sold for $46 on Poshmark. And this is a newer brand to me, decent sell-through rate on this, and definitely high ASP in the pre-owned market. No idea how to pronounce it. DVF Avenue, DJERF Avenue. Very high retail on this. This is a getaway mini shirt dress, and this one I actually, this particular week I did sell, but I sent out deep discounts on some of my most liked items, and this was an example of one of those pieces. So I think I originally had it listed a lot higher, but I accepted an offer of $45. Here is a newer brand to me, Carla Colto. Not very familiar with this brand. I believe we got this in wholesale, but this is a women's swimsuit, one piece, new with tags, lots of great factor stacking. If you guys see any really well structured, you can see this one has that surplus, very structured, kind of drapey, flattering look to it. You guys see any one pieces like this, even if they're pre-owned, I would look it up. Lots of swimwear brands that perform well in one pieces. So this one I think we had listed around $125, $135 or something like that, and we accepted an offer of $106 on this swimsuit. It's definitely a brand to keep your eye out for. All right, this is also one that I sent a deep discount on. I had this listed closer to $100. It is a Beachwood baby jumpsuit. I don't know much about this brand, but I can tell you that it's extremely popular, and jumpsuits that are oversized and kind of slouchy like this in general are a very popular style. But you definitely want to keep your eye out for this brand in jumpsuits. Like I said, I sent out a deep offer of $50, which somebody accepted. You could see there's a ton of interest on this item. I had 29 likes on Poshmark alone. All right, this is a pretty awesome sale. I love t-shirt sales. This is a Universal Studios men's Halloween night t-shirt. If you guys see any Halloween themed item. I would just say look it up, especially theme parks. You can see that this is actually the front of the shirt. And we chose this as the cover photo just because that's where, again, the most graphic is to really help sell it. We listed this for $35. It ended up selling on an offer for $27, which is fantastic for a pre-owned t-shirt. Also a newer brand to me, this is the brand Mina Man. I don't know much about this brand. It's very artsy. You can see it retails for a lot. Trying to see if we can find... We must not have had a picture of the actual label, but here is the new tag of it. Very interesting kind of artsy log and look piece. We listed this really high at probably like, I don't even know, maybe like $150. It had a bleach spot on the sleeve area, so it was new with defects. So we sent out some deep offers and someone accepted an offer of $76 on this piece. Here's a brand that was on quite a few of Poshmark's trends reports. They're known for being a sustainable brand. It is Quince or Quince, Quince. This is made out of organic cotton. A lot of their pieces are just like $25 flips pre-owned, but if you have a more substantial piece like this organic cotton jacket, you could definitely get more. This ended up selling for $48 pre-owned on Poshmark. I definitely think it is a good sustainable brand to know because it's very trendy right now. Here's another one I sent a deep discount on. This is Maeve by Anthropologie. It's a new with tags dress. It was called the Jessamine midi dress. Any midi or maxi length Anthropologie dress we always pick up. I had this listed pretty high and it had sat. So we went ahead and sent out some deep offers and it sold for $36 on Poshmark. I think I might have sent a deep discount on this as well. This is Paloma Wool. This is definitely a new brand to me. Very artsy graphic here. If you guys see anything like this, I would definitely look it up. We've been selling a lot of stuff with like artistic faces on it lately. I'm trying to think like Desigual, that brand, or Desigual, however you pronounce it, makes a lot of pieces like this and they have been performing incredibly. So this one is, we just called it the cropped face sweater. I think I originally had it listed closer to $100 and I accepted an offer of $50. This is definitely a brand you want to be on the lookout for. This is V Chapman. This is an Anthropologie wedding line. Sold at Anthropologie and they have a pretty decent sell-through rate and their pieces sell for quite a bit, especially for pre-owned wedding dresses. So this one was called the June wedding dress. Beautiful piece. And we had this listed closer, I think, to like $250, maybe $300. And we accepted an offer of $175 on this piece. Absolutely would keep your eye out for V Chapman. This is a brand that does not have 100% sell-through rate, but if the right factors are there, we pick it up and it still performs pretty decent for us. We try to stick to the maxi length dresses or midi length. This one is called the Alluring Dream midi dress. Beautiful details here. It is pre-owned. It's still sold for $40. Again, I think it really depends on the piece you have. We try to stick to the more substantial midi to maxi length dresses. And here is a very surprising sale that I'm so excited to share with you guys. This is a Target brand universal thread, very similarly to Old Navy dresses. I can get some pretty decent money out of these if there's enough factor stacking going on, which lately this company has been putting out a lot of very on-trend pieces. So this is a long sleeve midi dress. You can see it's very cottagecore, kind of prairie, boho inspired, just very on trend. Plus it was a size extra large, had some smocking details, micro floral print, like all of the things had to be aligned for this to happen. But we listed it for $30 and we got $30 for it, which I think is insane for a pre-owned Target item. So very similarly to Old Navy, if you can factor stack enough pieces, I would definitely consider getting it, especially if you're at the bins. All right, this one I believe might have actually been a bins piece. I can't remember if it was bins or wholesale, but just an interesting piece to show you. This is the brand Oakley. This is a Y2K tote bag, kind of canvas feel. Nothing too special. There was a hole on the bottom. It went for $30 on Poshmark. Here's another Harley item. This is kind of along the jacket realm, being a vest. This is a men's fleece line vest. You can see there's no crazy graphics or anything on it. I guess there is a graphic here. Hard to see. But it is a men's size large and it's a more substantial piece. So I would definitely consider getting those, and it sold for $50. This is more bread and butter. This is a pre-owned Calvin Klein top. I like getting Calvin Klein tops when they are plus sizes. They sell pretty well, usually around $25 for us. This one actually sold for, I believe, our full asking price of $29. So keep your eye out for that. Just a little black and white striped office top and a 2X. And I've talked about this brand a lot. James Purse and all of its lines, very capsule wardrobe. Another great bread and butter. This is a men's button-down shirt. I got $30 for. This one's very similar to Lulu's, where it really depends on the piece and we focus on the longer length stuff. This is Baltic born. This was called the Kindle Jumpsuits. So longer length, more substantial, size large, wide leg. It ended up selling pre-owned for $34. And last item, this is kind of a niche brand I don't think a lot of people know about. I found it a couple times. If you do find it, I think it's definitely worth getting. It always sells pretty quickly for me and for a lot of money. It is Blue Salt, and blue is spelled B-L-E-U. They do have their own sizing, so if you get it, make sure to check their size chart. This is just a spell out sweatshirt, pre-owned, and it sold for $55 on Poshmark.
Alright guys, so that's it for what sold last week. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. If you're not already and you would like to be, don't forget to subscribe down below. If you hit that notification bell and hit all, you'll be notified every single time I post a video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.